When building your MVP, one of the biggest strategic decisions you'll face is whether to outsource development or build your product in-house. Both approaches have advantages and trade-offs, and the right choice depends on your goals, budget, timeline, and available expertise. Understanding these differences will help you make a smarter, faster, and more sustainable decision. Let's start with outsourcing. Outsourcing means hiring an external team, agency, or freelancers to build your product. This approach is often appealing to startups that don't yet have technical talent or want to move quickly without the long process of hiring full-time developers. The biggest advantage of outsourcing is speed and flexibility. You can assemble a development team within days, not months, and start building immediately. This is especially useful for validating an idea fast or creating a proof of concept. It also allows you to tap into specialized expertise, whether it's mobile app development, UX design, or back-end architecture, without having to hire full-time staff. Another benefit is cost control. Outsourcing can be more affordable in the short term since you only pay for the work you need. You can scale your team up or down based on project demands. And because you're not handling salaries, benefits, and equipment, your overhead remains low. However, outsourcing also comes with challenges. One of the biggest is communication and alignment. External teams may not share your vision as deeply as internal ones, and time zone differences can make collaboration harder. If your requirements aren't clear, you may end up with a product that doesn't match your expectations. Quality control can also be an issue. Not all outsourcing partners are created equal. Choosing the wrong one can lead to delays, technical debt, or even needing to rebuild your product later. To avoid this, always vet partners carefully. Review their portfolios, ask for client references, and start with a smaller test project before committing fully. Now, let's talk about in-house development. Building your MVP with your own team offers control, alignment, and long-term ownership. When your developers and designers are part of your company, they're invested in your vision. They understand your users, culture, and goals. This often leads to higher quality code and a more cohesive product experience. In-house development also enables faster iteration after launch. When you get user feedback, your team can immediately make updates or improvements. There's no need to renegotiate contracts or wait for an external agency's availability. This agility is especially valuable during the MVP and early growth stages. The biggest downside, however, is cost and time to build the team. Recruiting skilled developers can take months and cost significantly more upfront. You'll also need to handle management, tools, and infrastructure. For startups with limited budgets or non-technical founders, this can be a major challenge. A common hybrid approach is starting with outsourcing and transitioning to in-house once the MVP gains traction. This allows you to validate your idea quickly, prove market demand, and then hire a core internal team for long-term growth. Many successful startups follow this path. It offers the best of both worlds. If you choose to outsource, here are some best practices to ensure success. 1. Define your product scope clearly. Write a lean product spec outlining goals, features, and success metrics. 2. Choose partners strategically. Look for agencies or freelancers experienced with startups and MVPs. 3. Communicate frequently. Use tools like Slack, Trello, or Notion to stay aligned daily. 4. Test early and often. Request demos, prototypes, or partial builds to verify progress. 5. Own your code and assets. Make sure your contracts clearly state you retain intellectual property rights. If you're going in-house, here are some key tips. 1. Hire for versatility. Early on, you need generalists who can handle multiple areas. 2. Start small. A lean team of 1 or 2 engineers is often enough for an MVP. 3. Invest in collaboration. Encourage close teamwork between product, design, and engineering. 4. Build for learning. Prioritize experimentation over perfection. Ultimately, the decision comes down to your stage, resources, and strategy. If you need to move fast and validate your concept, outsourcing can get you to market quicker. If you're building something complex or long-term, an in-house team provides better control and continuity. Remember, what matters most is not who builds your MVP, but how quickly you can learn from it. Whether you work with external developers or an internal team, your focus should always be on testing, iterating, and moving closer to product-market fit. In the end, outsourcing and in-house development are not opposing choices. They're stages on the same journey. Start lean, stay flexible, and evolve as your product grows. The best approach is the one that keeps you learning, building, and delivering value to your users faster than anyone else.